weeks. Welcome back with Jeremy and Steph. As you can tell, our background is a little different this week. We have escaped out of the camper and we're on the loose. We're actually on the way down to Florida. We're staying over in Atlanta right now. We're going down to Florida to see our really good friend Vicky retire from the Air Force. Woo! Congratulations, Vicky. But we just wanted to take some time to give you guys an update on our house budget situation.
Yeah, so we left you last week. We were about $80,000 over budget on the house. It was a bit depressing, but there's no time to stop in this game. So we had to get right back on it, and we had to look at kind of what tools were available to us to kind of get the budget back into scope. And the first one, I think that everybody would think is, well, can you go just ask the lender for more money? So we were a little hesitant to do that because we are pushing our borrowing power as it is. But we went back to the lender and worked with Ryan Mutter over at Fulton Mortgage, which is a fantastic company, a great product for the construction loan. And we were actually able to find a little wiggle room in what we were doing and get the budget to move a little bit upwards. So it gave us some options and give us some room to breathe as we made adjustments, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that was one part of the process, but when we looked at our overall budget and what we were spending, we still wanted to bring it down just a little bit to kind of get it into our comfort zone. So our builders, Chad and Kira, went through each line to see where we could have some cost savings in this build. And they sent over this spreadsheet which shows you a couple different line items where we were able to make some adjustments and reduce the cost of the build. So anything you see here with parentheses around it was a deduction to our original estimate. And sometimes we had to add in a line item where it brought up a cost, like for example, taking oak stairs off, but adding, carpeted stairs in. So things like that, and actually took off a significant amount off of our estimate.
Yeah, you can see at the bottom, it kind of reduced it by about $34,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the increase from the budget from the lender and then the deduction there, it helped us kind of put us into balance. And then the one last move that we made that we were able to kind of gain some efficiencies back was just paying out of pocket to have the well put in. So what that did for us is just reduce us a little bit further down because now that we go into the next phase of this process, we're going to look at appraising, and that we think that well, paying for that out of pocket might help us as well get the cost down.
Yeah, I think so. So that was a lot of work back and forth. On Friday, we actually finally were able to have a signed contract with our builder. Yeah, Chad and Kira came over. It was actually late Friday night. It was pouring down rain. And inside the camper, we sat and, actually kind of both signed our life away because we're signing a fixed price contract. So we are both assuming a lot of kind of risk in this scenario. We're signing a fixed price contract. We don't know what's going to happen with building materials, and they're saying that they can build this house for this amount, but they also don't know what is going to happen with building materials. So it was kind of like just holding the hands together and taking a big leap of faith at the same time. So it was a big moment.
It was awesome. I got a little emotional, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
I got choked up. So we're doing all this, and people ask you, like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing it now? We've kind of talked about this in the past, but the most important part here is that we're just done moving. We want to be in our home. We don't want to leave. We don't want to move anymore. And we want the boys to be in one location and grow up in the same school district and make friends and do all of that. So that's kind of why we're pushing. That's why we're not in military housing right now or renting closer to base. We want to get in here, and we're willing to do the hard things to get that done. And part of that for us was getting into the trailer on the property and while the home was going up so that we could be in the school district. And this week we were able to get the registration paperwork for the boys for school, which was a really exciting moment. But it presented some tough questions when you start going through. You have to answer some of these questions for the school district about where you are, what are your living conditions. And it really made us kind of look at the second and third order effects of what we're doing. So we're excited still. This is awesome. But, it's also raw. We're a family. We have emotions, and we want to share some of that with you as well.
Yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking to put this stuff out there, but we want to show the whole picture, the ups and the downs and the good and the bad. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm a mess. It's been a crazy morning. I haven't had a chance to do my makeup yet, but I just want to give y'all an update on our morning. Kind of an emotional one for me. I called the school that the boys are going to be going to, the elementary school, to complete the registration process. And I was looking through the forms, and one of the sections was, do you have a homeless child? And I looked through it, and one of them was, do you live in a campground or a temporary living situation? And just kind of really hit me that, how do I answer this? You know, what are they gonna think? But I called the school just to talk to someone and explain our situation, you know, and just hearing myself say all the things, you know, we're a military family, we just moved from Italy, we've been homeschooling for the last year, we're building a house, we live in a camper. It was just, it's all so crazy, and sometimes I just forget how crazy our life is right now. I mean, it's so wonderful, but it's so crazy. But the lady was so nice, and she said, you know, we'll get it sorted out, you're fine. We're happy to have you here. So it just really made me just like, you know, I had to hold it together on the phone. I don't want to, you know, I didn't want to like cry in front of her. You know, I'm crying in front of all of you guys, but yeah, it's just emotional, and I just can't help but wonder if we're, you know, making the right decisions. I hope we are. I hope it will pay off. It just, some moments you just really have some self-doubt, but I know it will be. I just have to keep faith that everything will work out, and it'll be worth it when we're finally in this home.